All right, welcome everybody to the Kentuckiana FileMaker Developers Group. This is the June edition, and we're glad to have you here. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure and check us out at Kentuckiana or kyfmp.com. Check out the Kentuckiana group. We meet the fourth Tuesday of every month, and we are happy to have anybody and everybody who has any kind of interest in FileMaker at all. You don't have to be an expert developer. You can be an absolute novice, and you are more than welcome to join us and join in the live discussion and the actual live presentation. So please consider joining us here. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and start our presentation today. Dimitris has joined us, and Dimitris, I do not believe I could pronounce your last name. So I'm not going to try because I don't want to butcher it, but I'll allow you to introduce yourself when you're ready. And we're going to talk about some vibe coding and AI. And thank you, Dimitris, for joining us. We're really happy that you reached out and offered to come and talk to us today. So I'm going to turn it over to you. So the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. My name is Dimitris Kokoutsidis. I'm Greek from Athens, Greece, where we have a wonderful Greek summer. And today I'm going to talk about how we can use agents in VS Code and all the compatible editors to write FileMaker code, FileMaker scripts, and paste it back to FileMaker. And of course, do the opposite. Get FileMaker scripts from FileMaker Script Workspace into any IDE, any modern IDE, and paste it, and then work with it. Let an agent work with it. Let another agent inspect it, and let another agent document it, and then we can, the end result of the audit of this script can be pasted back to FileMaker Script Workspace. One thing I'm going to talk today is I'm not going to use what I call toy scripts. I'm not going to use easy examples like a simple script that has 10 steps, and it uses the most used script steps like if, go to, and set variable, which is what I see a lot going on and on. But our tool, AI2FM.com, does not deal with toy scripts only. It deals with scripts that is written for production and is complicated and uses all the script steps, not some of them, not half of them. And we produce XML that is 99% accurate. We leave 1% for the strange cases that FileMaker has, because FileMaker it keeps moving the goalpost. FileMaker 2026 introduced 4 new bugs that we reported today in FileMaker support, and I'm going to show demo of all those bugs that we found during research and development, and I hope you will enjoy what you will see. I will share my screen now.
You may have to try again. I just gave you permission and hit allow, so you might have to try again.
All right.
There it is.
There, yeah, perfect. So I'm going to start by who am I and why you should care and listen to me. I'm a civil engineer by study. I have, it says 25 years, that's 30 years and more in IT and software development with projects in Greece, UK, Europe, Tunisia, Saudi Arabia, and USA. I'm a FileMaker Pro and Server certified, but I have a second hat that I wear. I'm not only a FileMaker or full stack developer. I also have a postgraduate degree in cybersecurity from the University of Athens. I'm an IT security technician certified by TU Nord, and I'm also certified by Cisco and IST2 Square. So I have a lot of experience on FileMaker, and I will start by showing you this. We have to, before we continue, we have to set the boundaries. What is deterministic, and what is probabilistic, and why and where we use it. Because there is a big misunderstanding when we use AI and why you should use AI. AI does not fit everywhere. AI does not replaces good old software. AI does not replace a calculator machine. A calculator machine will do faster job from an AI because a calculator can do 2 plus 2 much faster because the AI has to reason about and has to forecast the probable answer. That is the main distinction between classic deterministic software and probabilistic outputs that we have with AI. These two are not excluding each other. The AI and classic software are working together. I'm not saying do not use AI. I'm not saying do not use classic software. I'm saying use AI to produce software, use software to produce result when it makes sense. When you want to calculate the results, use classic software. Do not put it into AI to think about it and reason for 10 minutes and burn thousands of tokens just to get a simple answer when you can have a calculator, like we said, and give you the same answer in a fraction of time and no cost at all. We are saying that because, like I said, we are going to talk how we can get the FileMaker script out of Script Workspace. The first thing that we can try is to print the script. But printing the script will give you a result that, like the DDR HTML, hides more than 60% of the actual information that is in the FileMaker Script Workspace, and specifically the XML snippet that is hidden inside the FileMaker Script Workspace. None of these two are a solution. You cannot base you cannot say, okay, I want to copy that script and I want to give it to an external AI to process it. This is what we tried to do when we got back in 2022, 23, 24. We were printing, or we were using DTR HTML, and we got the result that we got there, and we were giving it to the web chats, and we were saying, this is the script, help us do it better. But as I said, we have proven that the info that is the info is cut off. It's not there. Specific, very specific script steps are go to related record and import. These two scripts are completely wiped when they are printed or when they are outputted as DDR as HTML. The result is a flat go to related record and a flat go to related record for both cases. There is a newer option that our friend, the great Christian from MBS Script, MBS plugin created. In the latest version of the plugin, 16.2, Christian added a button on the Script Workspace that says copy the script text. But what actually it does, because we look at that, it is only copying what FileMaker Script Workspace is rendering at the time. That means that if we see the same go-to-related record, only what is visible in the Script Workspace will come out at the other end. Go to that window. That window should have that name. That window should have that position. That window should have that size. Is all lost. So when we copy that and give it to an LLM to process it, all that information is lost. There is another option. Because, as I described, the three previous methods are lossy, we could give the LLM the actual XML that is in the Script Workspace. Both MBS and base elements give that for free. Also, our tool, AI to FM, does that for free because it's very easy. We just grab the FileMaker's clipboard and put it in a format that any other outside application can consume. But this is to my point of view, is the least favorable way to work. Because if you take that XML and feed it to an LLM, you have two problems. The one is that the XML is extremely verbose. It is a very large text that it is used to describe what we see in the Script Workspace as text. And because it's very big, you're sending a lot of information to the LLM to calculate, not to calculate, first to read, then to understand, then to understand what the prompt that you gave is, then read possible skills that you gave to the LLM, then compose all that information, and then return a result in XML again with probability of creating error of losing some tags. Very big. This is the least favorable solution. And we've seen community efforts that try to go that way. But this is not something that makes sense, because instead of doing that, you can just copy the Script Workspace information as text that is not lossy, but actually contains the information that, as I described, is lost, and give that to LLM in a standard format, what we call fmscript. We are creating a universal standard for humans and AI entities. fmscript.org, like python.org. We are creating a one universal standard way to represent what we see in FileMaker Script Workspace as text. In the community, in the last 3 years, because after we got the ability to work with LLMs and AI, there's been a tremendous effort and amount of time and effort spent to create solutions. And if you go to GitHub, you will find many partial solutions to the problem in every possible language out there. These are all deterministic, but none of them can reach to the point that we can say reliably that you give it the input, it processes and gives you the correct result that can be pasted back to FileMaker. I will give all these links if you want to check them yourself. And the latest is what I said that it, to me, is the wrong approach. It is by a Claude skill approach that you supposed to send to the LLM the script as XML and then give it a skill and say, here, read the XML. Now process that XML, give me back the XML. I cannot read, I cannot understand, because if it is 100 lines of human readable code, it will be 5 times that. And I cannot, of course, I cannot understand XML that is 500 lines of XML. I have no way of checking that, and then copy that XML and paste it back to FileMaker. It makes no sense. There are, beyond what we have in GitHub, there are many community tools that mostly use base elements to, and the great FM Pro Clipboard Explorer by Jack of Versions, the one that uses the developer plugin. There are, like I said, many techniques and many approaches. FM Workmate by Russell Watson was the first one. And Codens, the great guys at Codens, wrote a series of articles that explain everything that is to learn if you're interested about the XML in Clipboard. And they also created a base element tool to work with XML. Copy and paste the XML like I described. Instead of doing all that, we are building a universal script format for FileMaker and AI. When we copy the XML, we compile it, we transform it into human readable script text that humans can understand, AIs can understand. It is 1/5 of the length of the XML. And if we make it standard, and if we send it to everyone, and all AIs can be pointed to that standard, then we will have what we called previously deterministic approach. We will tell to the AIs of the world, no matter if it is Codex or Claude or Gemini or DeepSeek or the new Japanese Mythos, which is, like I said, it's going to be, they said it's going to be better than Claude. We can point all our AIs to this target and say, when you write FileMaker for the humans, FileMaker scripts for humans to read, do not imagine how you should do it. Here is the standard. Write it like this. And when the AI has a standard to write upon, it is very capable. It is a language model. If it has a language, if it has a grammar, if it has a syntax, then the result will be accurate 100% every time. But how do we do this? We are building fmscript.org. You can go there. We are going to publish, it is not published yet. We are going to publish a universal standard for the AI, for humans to read and FileMaker Script Workspace steps, and for machines, for AI entities. And we are going to do it in Google Open Knowledge format. This is brand new. Google decided that we should have a format on how knowledge should be shared. And they say, create a small WML file that describes what this document is about. And in that, on top, and then it's like an index. And then you can have the human part when we read the human syntax, and you have the machine part when the agents can read the AI syntax. And you don't have to have skills anymore. All you have to do is point to that web URL, and it will automatically lock the knowledge. Nothing else is needed. Now, how do we paste back into FileMaker? The first, when we saw FileMaker, when I first saw AI write my first FileMaker script, I remember it was 2022. I was in Saudi Arabia in Aramco, and a colleague said, "You know, we have artificial intelligence now." I said, "Okay, so what? It knows FileMaker." I said, "No, there's no way it knows FileMaker." I said, "Yes, it does." "Okay, ask it to write the hello world dialog in FileMaker." And ChatGPT 3 back then wrote a script that said, "So custom dialog, hello world." And our first instinct was, great, let's copy that back to FileMaker Script Workspace. We don't have to write anymore. The AI will do it for us. But of course, this failed because this is text produced by the AI, and the FileMaker Script Workspace expects XML. So then we said, okay, let's make the next best thing. Let the AI in the web chat write the script for us, and we will retype it. Retyping is a solution, but it steals your mortal time. You spend time typing instead of solving problems or having a good life the way that you define a good life. Yes, you can retype a script that is 100 lines long, but you need at least an hour or 30 minutes if you're a very good typer. The next solution is what I described. Give it XML and try to paste it back. You're burning extreme amounts of tokens to do what a text equivalent can do in a fraction of that. And the possibility to create an error, it increases because, as we know, it is symbol logic. As the complexity increases, the possibility to have a wrong result also increases. If we have a very complex XML file, we will have a great possibility to get partial or totally wrong output. We saw that the community tried to solve that with deterministic efforts on all kinds of languages, from AppleScript to Go, Rust, whatever. And we tried all that, and we saw that they cover maximum 25% of the script steps available. And most of them will fail in the options, will fail in the variables, will fail on all kinds. There will be all kinds of failures. You will have probably some of the steps, not even the whole step, partial of the step, and that will be your attempt to go back into typing the good result that you expected. Instead of doing all that, you can use our tool, AI to FM, and just copy and paste, because it works every time, and it does not work for toy scripts only. It works on any script, no matter how complex it is. like I said, and I want to show you, I want to give you examples, numeric examples, to understand why you are going to background, why all this affects your time, because you wait for the LLM to produce a result much longer, and affects your wallet because you're burning a lot of tokens trying to get a result. Let me show you something. In order to create our tool, AI2fm.com, we had to create all possible variations of all script steps and all their options. So we created what we call the monster FM script. It has this one, because we have even bigger than this one, it has 1,320 steps. And if we copy all that, and we go to a tool on the web, and we say, get that and calculate how much tokens I'm going to spend if I send it to an LLM, it will say that if we use that and use Claude Opus 4.7, you will spend $0.5, $0.7. But that script, when it's expressed as XML, the 1,300 becomes $11,400. You see how much bigger it is. And if we copy that and give it to the calculator to tell us what we are going to spend on that, just one iteration, this script, if you send it as XML, the 0.7 became $4.47. You understand, just one script. If you're an agency and you're sending to the LLM all day long iterations of your script in XML, you are burning money without reason. And you're burning good money, not something that is trivial and doesn't matter. The difference is very big. You're sending 0.7 compared to $4.47. And we calculated that in our site. We have a calculator that everyone can understand the difference and see how much they save if they use fmscript. So to solve all that, we created AI2FM to create from FileMaker Script Workspace text, and then that text can be altered by our agents multiple times, very cheap and very faster than processing XML, and you can have many iterations per minute and very fast, and you can just copy paste into FileMaker. I hear Vincenzo Manano back there saying, but Clipboard, it's an old technology. Yes, Vincenzo, we know. Oops, I didn't include that. Here. We are not sticking to that. Today, we are using FileMaker Clipboard because this was what was available at the moment. With FileMaker 2026, Clarice, the vendor, gave us a better tool to automate things. Create our script in VS Code, allow the agent to make multiple iterations until we are satisfied, and then click a button and send it to FileMaker without even copy pasting, because the upgrade tool can now receive script steps, and we can create the version 2 of XML, save as XML, and we can patch the FileMaker file, the binary, automatically. Take that with a huge grain of salt, because that is what we are promised from Clarice. Reality. We tested it. And the only proven things that work are base tables, fields, table occurrences, relationships, and layouts. Most of the other things simply do not work, or they do not work reliably. The most famous result that we saw is that the tool will, just like an LLM, will, with great confidence, will give you a wrong result. It will say, yes, I updated this script, but the script will be unchanged. It rejects updates. It can add at the moment. It can delete with caution. It fails to update any script. But what I'm demonstrating here is that our research and development does not stay into the clipboard. We are going to full automation. We are going to enable the upgrade tool to be the link between the outer world and the FileMaker binary. So, since we launched AI to FM, the adoption by developers all over the world is phenomenal. We have developers from more than 35 countries. Of course, the most developers are from the USA. But 2 days ago, I gave a presentation in the Tokyo FileMaker group. We have many developers from Japan. In fact, the first paying customer of AI to FM was a Japanese person. And they find it very easy to work. And we have great results. What you get with our tool. We have two offerings. The one is a free VS Code extension that you can download and install in VS Code, and then you can use it to copy-paste XML, all kinds of XML, not only for FileMaker scripts, but for layouts, for tables, for fields. Everything that is XML in FileMaker can be copied from and to FileMaker for free. Just like base elements and MBS already let us do it at the moment. But once you get not XML, but you get the converted XML into script, into text, human readable text, you can have a full IDE that you can format format the document. You can have autocomplete. You have step documentation on hover. You go on a step and you see the full FileMaker help. You click on the help on the step, and you have on the side the help for the step and for all FileMaker calculations. You also have validation, live validation with what is called squiggles. If you use VS Code, you know that when you type in another scripting language like Python, when something is wrong, the IDE will tell you, here we have a wrong, we have to fix it. Now we have it in FileMaker too, because now the extension and in extent, any VS Code editor that is compatible now understands fully FileMaker. And it is supported in both macOS and Windows. Now, that was the free. With the license, you can, with just a button, you can copy the FileMaker scripts as XML and paste them as the universal standard fmscript into VS Code. And with another combination of keystrokes, Command Option F, you take the text and in milliseconds, you paste it back into FileMaker. And you paste it accurately every time. It supports all script steps. It supports 16 locales. And I want to start by giving you what that means. Here we have FileMaker for the Japanese market. FileMaker for the Japanese market is localized. The script steps are not in English. It's the same in France, in Germany, Russia, Lithuania. There are localized versions of FileMaker that when you open the scripts in the Script Workspace, you cannot read them if you are an English-speaking person. Even the Chinese, they have their own version. And that is a great marketing idea, to have a localized version for every market. Getting into that market back then in the 80s when this idea came up was great for marketing. But from engineering point of view, this is a great disaster, because now you don't have one scripting language. You have 16 for the same thing. But JavaScript is one language. Python is one language. There is no Russian Python. There is no Japanese JavaScript. It's just JavaScript for everyone. And how do we solve this? Well, be prepared to see magic. We select the scripts, we copy them, we go to VS Code, and Command Option T, T for text, and magically, the Japanese became English. That means that now we have a truly universal standard, one language for every locale out there that the AI and humans can understand. We don't need to have 16 languages. We only need one universal. And this is what fmscript.org is doing. We are unifying this marketing idea, and we are producing one universal standard, an ISO for FileMaker scripts. But okay, Dimitris, you saw us. this is very nice, and you paste it. Oh, that's very good. And this is a very complicated script. It's not a toy script like you promised. But what happens if you change something? Let's say make that on and change a value to, like this one, change that to 5. What will happen if you try to copy back into FileMaker? Because this is the holy grail. This is what every AI agent will produce. It will produce text that humans can read, and humans can iterate mentally many times until they say, yes, this is what I want. And then Control A, Command Option F for FileMaker, go to FileMaker, create a new script, paste it, and the Japanese is Japanese again. The value is 5. And I cannot read the off and on because it's in Japanese, but the value is in 5. And the whole script is back into Japanese. That means that we don't rely on localization. We rely on the internal XML. We rely on the internal step IDs to create the standard. And the standard in fmscript.org will have examples on every locale and examples for humans and for AI. So these are the shortcuts, the keyboard shortcuts that I explained. We have, because it works on Windows and on macOS, Control-Alt-G and Command-Option-G are the free option to get XML out of FileMaker. Command-Option-T is you get the transform XML into the universal FileMaker script. And Command-Option-F, Control-Alt-F for Windows, is the combination to copy that text back to FileMaker. And it doesn't calculate. It is software. It is deterministic. It does not guess. It does calculate, does not guess. That's the correct definition. Because it is deterministic, because there is an algorithm behind it, and a compiler, what you saw was instant. And what you saw was a round trip to our server in Germany where the transformation took place. Because the transformation is not local. The transformation is centrally controlled by a universal server that has mirrors in Asia and USA, and controls the transformation. And most importantly, when we patch the transformers, it is patched instantly, universally. You don't have to wait for a download. You don't have to update the extension in VS Code. What bugs we found in our community were patched for everyone instantly for the whole world. And we have a community with 0 open issues, but we had, since we launched, 22 issues. that all of them were handled in the same day. And we got feedback by developers that said, this is phenomenal. We never thought that this hard issue would be patched in an hour, but we did. These three last ones were reported and solved the same day. So I want to touch another thing before we go into more real-time agentic coding. This is a Japanese site. It is for for scientists and coders in Japan. It is the most famous. It is, like we said previously, FM forums, or it is a forum for developers. GitHub. This one is translated. But what it says, we cannot find FileMaker engineers and developers. There are so many FileMaker jobs, and the young guys do not know FileMaker. We can't find them. We have a lot of web developers, and none of them knows FileMaker. And this tries to explain why. Because young graduates come out of university or college, spending 4 or 5 years writing in VS Code, learning about NPM, learning about JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, Node, all these technologies, but they never heard about FileMaker. And if there is no new FileMaker developers generation, the technology is going to be lost with the persons that know this technology. Our generation, the gray-haired generation, on the other hand, is used to Script Workspace. Click, 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 and you get a result. Does not know anything about VS Code, Terminal, Node.js, and all those technologies that we talked about. And we saw that firsthand after we launched, because we got emails. A guy named Merv that stuck with us. All right, I installed VS Code. I installed the extension. Now what? I am lost. Don't know what to do. And this is the most profound example. We have a paradigm shift. We are going from what we are used to do for 20 years, 25 years, 30 years in the Script Workspace. And now we are asking to work in Claude Desktop, Codex Desktop, a modern IDE like VS Code, Cursor, or the open source VSCodium. But we, the FileMaker developers, never used those because we never had the requirement to do. We are used to scripting in FileMaker Script Workspace. So to make the transition easier for both generations, for the young generation that only knows VS Code and scripting languages and writing text-based code that mostly they will not write, they will write code through an AI agent. But nevertheless, they know VS Code, this is what they learn in the university. And us, that we only know the Script Workspace, we have to find a way for both generations to get together. And we decided to create extremely detailed onboarding tutorials, visual tutorials for both generations to understand how to work with these tools. So if you go, we don't need to show, we can live show it in our site. We have step-by-step that is so detailed that starts from go get VS Code, find it, download it, install it, open it, create your first file, your first folder, trust the folder, etc., etc. We have recaps, and it goes on and on and on. In the result, where you install the extension, which actually, once you do it, you understand that it is very simple. But because we did, most of the classic FileMaker developers do not know what VS Code is and what an extension to VS Code is. Do not know what it is. But if you tell them that you go to download this plugin and you install it in the plugins folder of the FileMaker, they immediately grasp the idea. There's nothing different into installing extensions into an IDE like VS Code. And we have step-by-step for both Mac and Windows, and we will continue to extend in this step-by-step because we saw that there is a real need for both generations to understand how they can use this tool and how easy it is, in fact, to use this tool. But you have to onboard them. You have to tell them, you have to answer the question, I'm lost, what I'm doing now. You're going there, you see this tutorial, you follow it step by step, and at the end of the tutorial, you will answer your question yourself. Of course, we are doing it on YouTube videos too, but that will follow. So where you can find that? You can find that to ai.fm.com, and the standard is prepared to be published into fmscript.org. After that talk, you can find the introductory video at Matt Navarre's Clarice Talk AI that is very popular. It is the most popular video in that channel. And we also gave a presentation into Richard Carton, which is also very well received. You can find both videos there, and you can see a lot of introductory terms. But as I said, because I gave the introductory presentations there, today I'm not going to do toy scripts. I'm going to do a lot of hard a lot of complex scripts that we need to make sure that we can copy and paste back and forth into FileMaker. To close the slides, we are going to give a presentation and workshop in Austria in September 15 into the new German conference, FM meets Mozart in Salzburg. And there we're having a presentation in the morning and a work. We're going to give a workshop in the afternoon. So enough with talking. Show me the actual work. What have you done? Like I said, all these files are example files that are going to be published in the standard script. And if we go to the latest configure generate response, this one is good. This one, let's hide all the noise. And focus. This file has, for this one script, all possible combination and all possible options. And that is extremely detailed. Because we did that job, we found 4 new bugs that FileMaker 2026 introduced, and we reported them today into FileMaker so they can start working on that. So this is a very, very long and very complicated script. If I copy that and go into Script Workspace, into VS Code, just like that, all the script steps are there with all possible combinations. But here comes the good part. Because it's now text, and because we are now in a proper IDE, we can select this very long line. And we can say, I want to show this line formatted as multi-line. I want to be able to understand it. And it happened in milliseconds. Now, if you send it like that to the LLM will understand it, but we'll talk about the token tax. This increases the token tax. For the LLM, it makes no difference if this line is like that or it is in a single line. The LLM will understand it. Is there a question? Okay, I continue. The LLM will understand it no matter what. But for the humans, it's much more easier to just select a line and say, show it as multi-line. And then back to a single line. Now, the question is, okay, you saw us. This combination of steps got into VS Code. Can you turn it back into FileMaker? Of course I can. Command Option F for FileMaker. Everything is here and everything is correct. No matter how complicated are the options of the step. We are talking about 100% accuracy. Now, let me show you something different. let me show you the bugs that we found out. This is configure machine learning model in FileMaker 2025. If we get those script steps and copy them, you would expect that if you take them from a supported version of FileMaker, 2025 is very recent and very supported, and paste them. We have to open configure machine learning. You will expect that you will get the same result. But in reality, all the information is lost because FileMaker internally changed the names of some XML tags. They had a typo. They had a typo in account. They typed it account. And when you copy and paste between the two versions, and if you're working with multiple versions, because this is very common for us, we have multiple versions to work at the same time. If you copy and paste, you will lose your work, and you will lose it silently, and you will not understand why. This was bug one. The second one is configure AI account. Again, if we take our script from FileMaker 2025 and open the same file in 2026, you would expect to get this result. In reality, all the information is again gone, because again, they have renamed XML tags. We already solved this. How we solved it? Let's say that you are in FileMaker 2025, and you copy this, and you go to VS Code, and you say, I'm working with FileMaker 2025. Then if you paste it, select it. Actually, it should be 2026. No, correct. 2025. Control Command Option F. Nope. It should be the other way around. Just a second. This is brand new, so it's a bit confusing for me, but Command Option F. Command V. All the information is there. We have online translation. And we cover the bug that Clarice introduced just like that. And we're doing it for the full 4 bugs that we found out and submitted. Now, FileMaker has another bug that is 2026 specific. If you copy this configure prompt copy it and paste it, you will find out that what is missing here? I don't remember what exactly is the bug. Let me find it. Perform run. And the other one? Configure. Yeah, it's losing Google. So here, the provider is Google. That was added in 2026. If you copy it and paste it, the provider becomes OpenAI. This is a new bug in FileMaker 2026-90. It does not go to Google, it goes to OpenAI, the default. That's the one. And here, yeah. Here we have in perform RAG action, we have a response target. Either it is a variable or a field. If we copy it and paste it, the response is gone. So what I'm trying to demonstrate is that the amount of research that we've been into is very, very extended. And as I already saw, we also have immediate solution for these problems, the compatibility between 25 and 26. You just copy from 25, paste it in VS Code, copy from VS Code, paste in 26, and the solution is there. Now, enough with the bugs. We already saw locales. Let's go to Agentic AI. This is Visual Studio Code. I have 3 agents at the moment, fully aware of what we are doing. I have Claude Code, I have Codex, and I have Gemini from Google. Codex, say hello to our group. We are presenting. As you can see, Codex knows what we are doing at the moment because it was trained, bootstrapped with the context of what we are doing. If we go back to Claude, it will actually respond, but not as fast because it is thinking a lot more than Codex. And while we wait, we can do the same at Gemini. And hello. So all 3 agents are aware. All 3 agents are bootstrapped. And it doesn't make any huge effort to do what I just showed. All you have to do is create feedback to the agent at the start of the chats. And that feedback are plain documents that you can let the agents create after you describe what you are going to do. And now what I'm showing follows an action plan, because those agents told me, all right, we are aligned, you lead, you are the human in the loop, do this, do that, we will follow. If we go into this markdown file and we actually read it, all that was created by me talking with my agents, because it's not superhuman or something that is out of our reach. It's just being reasonable, being logical, and describing what you want. Just exactly like we do when we are writing code. All we have to do is to tell the machine, the agents, this is what we need to do, help me build it. And this presentation was prepared by those agents. So, let me give you a small taste what it means to work in a real script workspace, in a real IDE. I'm going to create a new fmscript that is totally empty. And I'm going to say open transaction. I just tap open, nothing else. Tab, all the script steps for the full open transaction auto-ended, just like that. And then inside that transaction, I'm going to use a loop. Just L, enter. The loop structure is already there. And then inside that loop, I'm going to create an if structure. The funny part, as you can see, these are color banded. If I changed my theme into a light, the transaction and the loop and the if inside it have color bands that define their space. And of course, you can open and close the full transaction, the full loop, and the full if. How many keystrokes did I use to create this? 3. I typed 0, O, I typed L, and I typed I. And I have it ready for me. So I'm going to ask Claude, Claude will read this and will create a script. It will take, of course, some time. And if we want faster result, we can downsize the model that we are using and how fast it is how deep is this thinking. But I wanted to show you what actual vibe coding means. With a deep thinking, with extra high and Opus 4.8. It will take some time, but not forever. And the script is here. So code did this, but do we agree with that? Here comes Codex. Again, Codex is at the highest possible setting, and we are using 5.5. So it's thinking, but the time that it took to start working on the new script is very reasonable. Remember, we started by nothing, just a skeleton. We had no real target. And this is what makes a clever AI different from a not clever AI. Now, we have proper error trapping. And where's our commit? Yes, and we have our error trapping after the final commit. And we have custom errors with in our revert transaction on the proper places. I'm not going to judge if it's right or wrong. For the presentation, now I'm going to ask Gemini what is the path? To document this beyond the documentation that Claude and Codex already created. Gemini, which has for this presentation the role of the documenter, will apply extensive documentation that will be very easy for any future human or AI to read and understand. And here we are. All this with full documentation, what tables are used, what layouts are used, what variables are used, what is the input and the output, custom functions that we might use, and extensive documentation everywhere. And of course, if we copy that into a new file, it will fail at the tables and layouts references. Because we have no table missing, we have no products like the one that, let's say, set field, this one. We didn't have any table, any file with the proper table names and proper layouts. But the only two errors we got was the wrong reference to a field. The script was created by Claude, corrected by Codex, documented by Gemini, and it is in FileMaker in less than 10 minutes. It is fully transactional, fully documented, full error trapping, and all we have to do now is use FileMaker to run it and test it. This is the process that I described with the multiple iterations in minutes. If we have that and we find an error, we copy back, we go back to our script here, say this one should be something else, the AI will fix it, copy it, paste it into FileMaker, done, in milliseconds. All right. And I hope that you understood what really agentic AI in FileMaker means. Let the AI create the scripts, let the AI correct the scripts, let the AI document the scripts, paste it in FileMaker, test it. Boom. Now, what you saw so far is 5% of the products we have in our backlog to release this summer. The good stuff comes after that, but we had to solve the basic problem, the standard. If you don't have a base to build upon, there is no way to create a logical product that will go out there and have results. I'm going to show you some of the things that we are cooking. One of them is, now that we have our ability to read our save as XML, we can have the ability to analyze really big solutions and turn that save as XML into tools that show us our interconnections and show us our tables and show us if there is any calculation. Let's find some. Let's recognize quotes. No. Let's go to here. All right. Okay. We can see the calculations in our tables. Here it is. It took me some time to remember where the calculation is. So we can have the ability to analyze our solution, no matter how big it is. And we can have that all color very easy to understand tools to analyze our solutions. This is the one for the ERD. A better one is for our scripts. When we get a very big solution and we want to analyze it and we want to pass it into a modern IDE like VS Code, we don't rely into the clipboard anymore to copy and paste just one script at a time. We get all the scripts of the solution, no matter how many, and we can let's see something more complicated. Quotes. We can have scripts that are connected to external files, and we can see them instantly. And we can have them as save as XML, the new format, FM Clipboard, the same XML ready to copy paste it into FileMaker, and as readable text. And we have the ability to see that text inside our tools. So these tools are going to be released this summer along with our latest not this one, to web. I'm not going to show a preview of this, but this is, I think, a true revolution for FileMaker. When we release this, and we decided that we are going to release that in Naples, in Milano, at the Italian conference that will take place in November in Milano. You're going to say that this is the most. I'm not going to say anything more, but I promise you that what you will see when you get your hands on that will be amazing. And with that, I think that I finished my presentation, and I'm ready for questions.
All right. Do we have any questions? I know it was a lot to take in, and I'm really excited to try some of it. We use Visual Studio Code all the time, and so knowing that there's a extension for Visual Studio is pretty exciting. So we've been trying to jump around and follow along and look at your websites and do all that kind of stuff during the presentation. So I'm probably going to get a whole lot more out of it when I go back and rewatch the recording. So does anybody else have any thoughts or questions? Well, I guess you covered it pretty thoroughly. I don't have any questions at the moment.
I gave a presentation 2 days ago in the Japanese group. And at the end, Japanese, they are very kind people and very honorable people. The presenter, Koji, which is very well known, said to me, Dimitris, they have no question because your presentation was so amazing that you covered everything.
Yeah.
Thank you. But guys, please, I'm here. We are not, we are free to discuss anything that you show. Any questions about the extension, please be free to ask whatever you like about the agents, how I created the agents, what is the future of fmscript, any of that.
I'm just going to say that it was so voluminous that it's going to take a while to digest. I think anybody who's going to get much of a question together would first need to rewatch the whole thing, and to develop the question. So it's not that we don't respect the work. It was amazing. We just are overwhelmed. So
yeah, it's like we just don't know what questions to ask yet. I think once I get the time to start playing with it, then I'll run into where the questions come up. But right now it's just hard to figure out like what questions to ask at this point.
I get that.
So.
For me, because I spent 18 months building it, it's all in my mind. It's all very easy and very, straightforward. But again, we have to go to this. Nope, not this. This one.
I think it was funny that you were talking about how FileMaker developers don't really know anything about Visual Studio because yeah, we never use it. When we started.
That's where I wanted to point out that the I'm lost email we got. It is the same feeling that you have right now, because I understand that these are a lot to digest, but that doesn't mean that they are hard to grasp. And of course, because I was going very fast, and as I explained, because I gave the presentations already on the fundamentals and the basic things into Matt Navarre and Rich Carlton, today I tried to talk on more advanced issues. Maybe that is why you feel extra overwhelmed.
Yeah, a little bit.
That doesn't mean that it's that hard. Our boarding guides will help you. Our email responds in 15 minutes after we receive it. If you find something that doesn't work, it will be solved the same day. We have a proven record about that. This is nothing that we cannot. Let me tell you something about myself. I never make a claim that I cannot prove. And our record says that every issue that we had since the launch was solved the same day.
Very nice. Yeah, since I started getting into web integration, that's when I started using Visual Studio Code. But for, the first 17 years of working with FileMaker, I never did, never used it. So yeah, it was funny that you mentioned that. And that's the other thing when during your presentation, some of it was like trying to follow what you were doing in Visual Studio Code, because I'm much more of a novice in VS Code than I am in FileMaker. And so I'll be looking forward to playing back the video and using pause to stop and catch up with you and see.
I hope I'm not you will not remember me as, no, that's not a good joke to make. I will retract that. Because it had to do with ethnicity, and I will not use that.
I had a question really quick.
Yes.
I didn't get to see your, I had it kind of not full screen on my screen, so I didn't get to see what extensions you were using in VS Code, which is my favorite coding platform, personally. But my background isn't FileMaker. I'm one of the few. I'm more new to the game with FileMaker. Have you messed around with using like continue.dev or Olam or any of those? I don't know if you're running off of Claude or if you're running your locals with VS Code. I'm just curious.
Alex, you are my guy. You are the guy here on the left, the guy that worked with VS Code and makes the questions. Now, I will repeat the question of Alex for all of us. What kind of extensions am I using? First of all, VS Code, like FileMaker, accepts plugins. They are just called extensions. So if we go on the left side here, we can see a lot of extensions installed, and we can search extensions into an open marketplace, and we can make our VS Code or Anti-Gravity or Cursor much more capable by adding extensions. So for this presentation, I used the three agents, Claude, Codex, and Gemini. My extension, which you can download from ai2fm.com. It is free to use. You can keep working with it forever. What is paid is only the transformation between XML and fmscript. So what you saw already with creating a new script, formatting it, color coding and all that, it is free for everyone. And the rest are just utility XML tools and Markdown preview to see the files. But the important for this presentation was that I installed three agents, Claude Code for VS Code, Codex for VS Code, and Gemini Gemini Code Assistant for VS Code. All right? And there is something that we could discuss. There are wrappers out there that, like KiloCode, that talk to those three providers and many others, APIs, and you can use AI assistants for free. If I enable that, what's that? Let me make it smaller because KiloCode. I just want to install it, enable it, enable. That's it. All right. Now, I just enabled another extension to my IDE. And now if I click here, I have KiloCode. And KiloCode has many more AI providers. And many of them are totally free, like NVIDIA Nemotron Super, Ultra, and Omni. These are made by NVIDIA. And you can use them for free. Of course, just like ChatGPT free, they have limits on the amount of the information you can process. You will hit the free rate limit pretty soon. But the videos I'm going to create for all this, I'm not going to create with Claude Code and Codex and all that. I'm going to teach the young generation, use the free ones to learn. And then when you learn, pay to get the extension from Claude, from Codex, etc., etc., etc. And like I said, we have all alpha, we have, I don't know, they add all the time new providers. GLM 5.1 is here.
Yeah, there's I see it.
So you can use that if you want to use with GLM. You can, and KiloCode is just a wrapper to APIs, nothing more. They just get cheaper prices from the providers, create the extension, and provide the use of the APIs. All right? So your question is, what extension? I showed the extension. What else, Alex?
I mean, you really covered it. I see it clearly here. It's funny because I keep my if I'm using like a AI, like in the IDE, I keep it on the left side of my screen. So yours is flip-flopped. It's just a different look. But no, I think what you said was really important to, I wish I had started out with local models. I dove in, and of course I was
Oh,
using Gemini free.
that's the other question I didn't answer.
No,
You
well,
said
I was
local
gonna say
models.
engineering is a skill set. Absolutely. And I would recommend to somebody if you don't want to burn, $100 in a week, play around and learn how to manage tokens and structure prompts and how to interact. So no, I'm on
Yeah.
board. Yeah, I'd like to hear your follow-up.
The other important question that I didn't answer is use of local AI. Instead of using those extensions like Claude, Codex, and Gemini, or even Kilo, can I run AI locally on my machine and pay zero to no one other than my effort of time and the electricity? Of course I can. I can use tools like LM Studio, and this is running locally at my machine. And I'm using right now Google's Gemma, 26 billion. This is new information. We are getting really too much. Important thing to keep in mind. You can run your AI locally on your machine. You can download free AI in your machine models that you can run through applications like LM Studio, Olama, and my new favorite, Onslaught Studio. Onslaught Studio is much more advanced. It lets you edit the actual model, change it, train it, and that will take a long time. Google Gemma, it will take time to load the actual local model. No think, make it fast. And since I can run Gemma for the local AI here, I can teach it FileMaker, and then I can use an extension that Alex probably already knows, which is, do I have it here? No. Do I have it in anti-gravity? There is an extension that connects VS Code or any IDE to local AI, and instead of talking to the AI provider on the cloud, you talk to the local model. No, I remember where it is. It is here. The extension is called Continue. And once you install Continue, you can set it up to listen to the API that your local software has. LM Studio has an API, and that API is accessible from outside. Then you use the extension Continue, and you access that API locally. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. And here the local AI, it's running. Another issue that you have with local AI is that first you have to load the AI into memory, then you have to preheat it. The first question will take time to make the machine work. The second question will be much faster. Other questions?
Well, I think that's probably going to be about it. And we are a bit over time now, so we probably need to wrap things up. But again, thank you so much for coming and presenting. I'm very excited, and I'm sure others are very excited too about exploring all this. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. You really covered a lot in a great way. That's really cool because you kind of covered more than just the FileMaker. Kind of one of the questions a lot of people have, or I had, was, wait, this stuff is great, but like nobody explains the software they use and nobody explains how to, so it's pretty cool to go background. Thanks for doing it. You did great, man.
You will thank me when you see our YouTube channel, where we are going to provide real training on all those stuff. And we are not going to go, here's A, here's Z, good morning and goodbye. We are going to go A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. And my local AI now running on the machine just responded, hello, it's great to be running here in VSCodium setup. How can I help you with code today? All right.
Yeah.
And of course, it can understand vision. We can set the local AI to read images and all the cool stuff we can do with the online providers. The important thing to remember is that you have to have a proper GPU that can run AI. Mine is an NVIDIA that has 8 gigabytes of VRAM. So my local AI runs inside that VRAM, okay? If you have only a CPU, like a laptop, it will run, but it will take forever to respond. Okay?
Yep. All right. Well, it's been great. And I think we'll go ahead and
I see
end it
that
and sign off.
Beverly is clapping.
Yeah.
Beverly, from you, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Again,
Beverly.
I learned so much from you that I can never repay.
Beverly messaged earlier that her sound is not so good, so she probably wouldn't be speaking. So, all right. Well, once again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here at the Kentuckiana FileMaker Developers Group, and Dimitris for your presentation today. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up and sign off. So I hope you all have a wonderful day and enjoy your FileMaker development and exploring some new and fun AI innovations. So, all right. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me and having me. Bye-bye.
Bye.